42 points, 12 rebounds, 3 3-pointers made, 31 points, 5 rebounds, 4 3-pointers made, 48 points, 9 rebounds, 7 3-pointers made, right? He is right now averaging 40.3 points per game on 68.6% from the field and 53.8% from three-point range. Now, these are exhibit games, but still, the guy is just otherworldly right now. My problem with Lauri Markkanen, which, I mean, on paper, like theoretically, I mean, he's exactly what this team needs. Sizable, versatile, floor spacing. Luka Doncic himself even talked about how he wanted a floor spacing big. He could be that. He's more of a 4, like 3-4 than he is like a 5. He does have the height to play the 5, so you could do like kind of some small ball lineups and let him play the 5, but he's more of like that 3-4 guy. Problem is, right, you know, Lakers are going to be really good offensively. I mean, maybe not as good as with Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen could be the difference maker. Man, imagine Lauri Markkanen in like the Rui role. Like Lauri Markkanen, one, is he your second guy? Because it's basically what you'd be paying him for. Right? Because again, you look at his contract, he's going to make $46 million. Let's get into the contract, and then we'll get into the other parts, right? So, and he's just getting into this contract, by the way. He's going to make $46.3 million this year, $46.1 million next, $49.8 million in year 3, and then $53.5 million year 4 at 31 years old, right? So you're paying him as if he's your first or second best player, paying him max contract. I think the Lakers would trade for him because his contract goes beyond 2027. However, he is a guy that is making enough money to where, and he is good enough and still young enough, 28, just turned 28. Like, he's good enough, and he's also, his contract's big enough to where if a Giannis or a, Nikola Jokic or something like that became available, right, you could kind of use him in a package like him and Austin Reeves plus, picks to go and get Lauri Markkanen. Honestly, I wouldn't hate, because you're going to have to pay Austin Reeves like $30 million plus, right? I wouldn't hate maybe packaging Austin Reeves to go get a Lauri Markkanen, right? Problem is, like, the issue with Austin Reeves is, like, he's making so little. It was great when we needed him on a cheap contract, but now it's like, if you wanted to trade him, right? Like Lauri Markkanen, he's just better off ball, better shooting, better floor spacing, right? He's just a better natural fit with Luka and LeBron than Austin Reeves is. What is the cost for Lauri Markkanen, right? Supposedly, there have been reports out of Utah that Danny Ainge kind of just wants to get off of him. Like, they didn't really want to give him the contract, like the max contract. Like, they don't want to, they're not necessarily just going to give him away, but that if they could kind of get off of his salary, they'd do it. So maybe you could do something and put a package together. But the problem is, again, he's making $46 million. So, like, you could even do Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura, and that's still not enough. Until, 30, I think it's like $31 million. So you'd have to do Rui Hachimura. You'd have to basically do Rui, Austin Reeves, Gabe Vincent, and like Dalton Connect. And that would get you to what? Yeah, get you basically there to Lauri Markkanen. But then you also need to fill out your roster. You also need to, so, that's the problem, is that Lauri Markkanen's making so much money. Is Lauri Markkanen worth trading for Austin Reeves? I think so, right? Just better natural fit. Again, I don't like how much Lauri Markkanen is being paid, but Austin Reeves isn't going to be, he might be, Austin Reeves could get as much as $50 million, right? But, I look at kind of Lauri Markkanen, it's like, he's just a better natural fit, right? And I think, you could do some stuff there. Is he worth Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura? Okay, maybe you say sure. Is he worth Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and Gabe Vincent, even just for depth purposes? Okay, well, is he worth Rui, Austin Reeves, Gabe Vincent, and Dalton Connect? And then Utah's probably going to want a first in the deal, right? So, like, is he worth kind of giving up the star package for, right? Like, I don't know. To some people, yes. I just based on some of the comments I get about him, some people are yes. I just don't think so, because you need to clear salary Because if you're going to do a 4-for-1 swap, Lakers already have an open roster spot. You need to clear off enough money to fill up at least 3 guys and then have money to when it gets prorated, sign that 15th guy. So probably not doing Dalton Connect. You're probably doing something like Reeves, Rui, Gabe Vincent, and a Maxi Kleba, right? Because then that would give you, what would that be, 30? That'd give you like 50 million, right? So you'd clear basically 4 million off your books, right? Almost 5 million off your books. And then you might still have to just salary dump Dalton Connect, right? And then, or you're doing a 3-team trade, right? Maybe somebody like, I don't know, Brooklyn's taking Connect, right? Like, hey, here you go, take Dalton Connect. And they just take Dalton Connect for facilitating the trade. If I'm trading for Lauri Markkanen, I'm not giving up my first, right? Like, because it wouldn't make sense, right? And also you'd have to trade Austin Reeves to go get him, right? Because that's the other thing you got to keep in mind, which I'm not against trading Austin Reeves. I mean, if you're familiar with me, you're familiar with this channel, you know I'm not against trading Austin Reeves at all. It's just, is Lauri Markkanen worth, like, not is he worth Austin Reeves, but is he worth the price that you're paying for him, right? And is he the second guy to be that guy for you? And it's just, you can't just go do that and then like go sign another max guy. So it's like, is Lauri Markkanen and Luka Doncic, is that good enough as a pairing? I mean, Kristaps Porzingis and Luka Doncic were good, but that was, there's a lot of issues with that you could argue. But I like Lauri Markkanen. I don't want to undersell Lauri Markkanen. I mean, the guy's great. 1, I don't think the Lakers would do it. 2, I don't think the Lakers should do it. As much as I like the idea of Lauri Markkanen, I think he would be fun. I think him as like your 3rd option or 4th, maybe even potentially your 4th option, depending on DeAndre Ayton. And it'd be nice because in a post-LeBron era, right, you'd have Lauri Markkanen that you could slot in, right? So you could have Lauri Markkanen slot in at your 4, and then a Jake LaRavia or an Adu Thero or Jared Vanderbilt, somebody like that slot in at your 3. So, even like, let's say after this season, if LeBron really does leave and retire, you can just move Lauri Markkanen down, and now you have Lauri Markkanen and DeAndre Ayton as your, 4-5 with Luka Doncic, and then have like a Jared Vanderbilt and a Jake LaRavia or something like that as your 2 and 3, and have just like a big versatile lineup. Right? You look at games played. Games started last year, 47 games played, 47 games started. Right now, to be fair, last year, Utah literally sat their starters for like weeks at a time. However, Lauri Markkanen for his career is not a guy that plays a ton. The most games he's ever played in a season was his rookie season, in which he played 68 games. So it's another thing too you got to keep in mind. You're paying him a lot of money to play at best 68 games. Look at his minutes per game, 31.4 minutes per game. He got 14.9 field goal attempts per game, but he shot 43% from the field. His 3-point percentage, though, dropped. His 3-point percentage dropped to 34.6% on 8.5 attempts, so almost primarily a 3-point shooter. But again, in his defense, the previous 2 years, on 8 attempts each year, he shot 40% and 39.1%. So he's a career 37% 3-point shooter on 6.8 attempts.